All right, beautiful people, get in here, get in here. We have got to talk about something massive. The left does not want to talk about it. Everything that we've been covering is coming through a fire hose, so make sure when you get in here, hit that 5x5. Let me make sure that I've got the audio and the video up and running, because Glock just took a W. Chicago just took an L with no explanation. They just dropped their lawsuit against Glock. Now, this has ramifications across the board. Remember all the different attorney generals who came in and they said, oh, well, us too. Yeah, we're going to break it all down right now. This is something, when you get in here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and please send this to everyone, because this right here, another victory. Good Lord, it's getting crazy. I can't believe it. All right, we got 5x5. Good stuff, guys. All right. As you get in here, please send this one out, because this is a big one the left made a huge deal about. The gun controllers, every time for gun safety. I'm going to walk you through the entire thing. Chicago just dropped the Glock lawsuit. This is a big one, people. And as you get in here, I made this a special thing. It's linked in the description box below. This was a limited time design. Nobody likes a Glock block that we did about 3 weeks ago in reference to this actual lawsuit. I just opened it up again. There's a link in the description box below. It won't be there forever, but get your celebratory version of this shirt, because indeed no one does like a Glock block. In fact, that's probably why Chicago just dropped their own lawsuit. But with that said, we got enough people in here. Let's get right into this and send this one out, guys, because this is that stuff right here. Let me show out the monsters. These are old news. Old news. All right, here it is. I'm going to do this quick because we've got another one coming up tonight, which is going to melt your face off. I can't wait to share that one with you. But here it is. From Firearms Policy Coalition a couple seconds ago, Chicago has dropped its Everytown-supported liability lawsuit against Glock, which claimed the company's handguns are too easy to convert into machine guns. And I'm going to show it to you really quickly. This is we've talked about this almost ad nauseum. This is the case itself, City of Chicago against Glock Incorporated. But there's something even bigger that we're talking about. You see, notice how there's nothing else to it. They just dropped the lawsuit magically. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't really say that there's nothing related to Biden dropping out, Kamala Harris being the head of the Gun Violence Prevention Office, stepping out of that office. I can't tell you there's no connections. And if they are there, I will try to find them. But as we get into this, understand, Glock didn't even have to do anything. Chicago dropped it. The court didn't dismiss it. They just said, nah, we're good. I'm out. Voluntary dismissal without prejudice. They literally said, I'm good. Okay, now let me show you some other things as you guys are getting in here. Check this out. I love that you guys are in here a little earlier than usual. This is awesome. All right, here are the thumbprints, the fingerprints all over this. Everytown for gun safety. We're representing Chicago and seeking accountability from Glock, filing suit for unreasonably endangering Chicagoans through the sale of pistols that are being easily converted into illegal machine guns. Join the court advocacy team, blah, 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 blah. These are the people who just withdrew their lawsuit. Does that check out? Everytown for gun safety just withdrew a lawsuit that they were enabled, or that they were kind of in an incestuous relationship with the city of Chicago. They just withdrew the entire thing. Here's a few more fingerprints. Again, guys, all of this stuff, we're drinking through a fire hose. Look at this. Mayor Brandon Johnson, today, Chicago filed suit against Glock for facilitating the proliferation of switches to turn pistols into illegal machine guns. We will continue to do our work to protect Chicagoans from these deadly weapons and the companies that manufacture them. Right there, they're going after Glock, but all of a sudden they withdrew them. They withdrew the lawsuit completely. Now, what's interesting about this, and I'm just going to riff and I'll catch your comments here in a second. The Attorney General of New Jersey, Platkin, he came out and said, yeah, you go ahead and save our stuff too. So is he going to withdraw that? The AG, Keith Ellison of Minnesota, same thing. Are all these different state organizations who tried to get in on this, they're going to go, never mind, withdrawn. I'll be watching for that. But let's continue. I got a few more things. I wonder if this had anything to do with it. Look at this. From the Oversight Committee. This one came out on June 14th. Those other ones were back from March. We are investigating potential collaboration between the Biden administration and anti-Second Amendment plaintiffs, including the city of Chicago, on pending litigation targeting Glock. Wow, that's interesting. So all of these things are breaking at the exact same time, and they just happen to coincidentally withdraw their lawsuit? Anybody else smelling something weird? Yeah, that's because it's corruption being burnt off with the sunlight. Anyway, That's what's right here. Check this out. These plaintiffs are seeking to financially punish and restrict continued operation of a firearm manufacturer for illegal aftermarket alterations being made by criminals to their product after they've been lawfully sold. This misguided action ignores the responsibility of federal law enforcement agencies to aggressively prosecute criminals who violate federal statutes and local prosecutors who have taken a soft on crime approach to prosecutions. Again, timing is everything. There aren't really that many situations where coincidence actually applies. Everything that I'm showing you right now, what do you guys think? Right there in the comments. You think this is just a coincidence? Right there. Even someone just said it. Dan Williams. POTUS drops out and lawsuit ends. Isn't that weird? Make sure you get a Glock, no one likes a Glock block shirt in the comments to celebrate this amazing victory. I got one more thing for you. It's linked right down there. Here's Everytown Law, if you guys wanted to prove that it was them. Chicago sues Glock for endangering Chicagoans by manufacturing and selling handguns that can be easily modified to illegal machine guns. City of Chicago versus Glock Inc. Again, over here on X on another post, as I just showed you, they're representing Chicago. Going back to that same one, yep, there's Chicago again. The lawsuit alleges that Glock unreasonably endangers Chicagoans by manufacturing semi-automatic pistols in a way that can be easily converted. Everytown for Gun Safety wanted Chicago to do this. They got in bed with a Chicago machine. Chicago says, yeah, that sounds great. Everytown for Gun Safety goes out and says, we'll do all the charge and lead the lawsuit. And they just withdrew it a few minutes ago. It just broke that they withdrew the entire lawsuit. So the Glock lawsuit is now dead. Something doesn't quite check out. And if you want to see the actual court documents, here they are right here. City of Chicago versus Illinois Corporation versus Glock Inc. Everything right here. It's all out there for everyone to see. But again, I would like to go back to the most recent thing that we just brought forward. I showed you who's done it. I showed you all the things that are necessary to know whose fingerprints are on it. And this is the culmination. Notice of voluntary dismissal without prejudice. So again, just to kind of wrap up this little breaking spot of information for you guys, the Glock lawsuit is now dead. It was withdrawn by the very people who said they were going to push the case forward, in this case Everytown Law, through the auspices of the Chicago government. At the exact same time, the president steps down. The exact same time, Kamala Harris steps out of her role in the Office of Gun Violence Prevention. The same time, the Committee on Oversight says, hey, there's some collusion going on here. And wouldn't you know it, magically, without any reason or anything, it's withdrawn. I'll tell you what, that coincidences abound, don't they? Make sure that you get the shirt, the Glock, no one likes a Glock block shirt. It's right down there in the description box. Guys, you cannot make this stuff up. The last last month and a half have been like drinking through a fire hose of freedom, and I'm loving every second of it. Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you on the next one. Again, don't miss the video tonight. The video tonight is going to melt your faces off in a good way. Oh, this is going to be awesome, and I will see you then.